Amnesty International has urged European countries to accept detainees held at Guantanamo Bay. On the 8th anniversary of the first transfers to the U.S. prison, 50 people remain in what human rights activists say is unlawful detention. And protesters have now picketed the White House over fears that domestic security concerns may be keeping the prisoners captive for a bit of a longer time.
End torture!
Yes, we can!
Restore the rule of law!
Yes, we can!
And close Guantanamo. That's their message. Target the White House. But should they be here protesting?
No, we should be here in celebration of its closure, as President Obama promised nearly a year ago today.
But here they are.
All those who seek justice.
8 years to the day the Guantanamo prison opened in Cuba for detainees in the war on terror. Activists are speaking out against the same policies they say were practiced during the Bush administration. When the U.S. first brought prisoners captured in Afghanistan to Guantanamo and said they could be considered outside U.S. law, and their international humanitarian and legal rights were minimal. By this lawyer's account, his client, a prisoner at Guantanamo captured in a raid in Pakistan in 2002, shouldn't be there.
I've met his family. He is not a terrorist, and in my estimation, he poses no risk whatsoever. He wants to return to his home and watch the grass grow. I filed this lawsuit for habeas corpus 5 years and 5 days ago, and there has been no hearing yet.
And no word on if that will happen. His client, like almost half of the Guantanamo detainees, is from Yemen, a country under fire from U.S. lawmakers since its connection to the failed Christmas Day bombing. President Obama says he's suspending sending Guantanamo detainees back there for now.
These protesters are dressed in prison suits and they're marching in silence, they say, in solidarity with the prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. Also in solidarity, after this, they'll begin a 10-day hunger strike, like they say so many at Guantanamo have also done.
Just to try to be a voice for the voiceless, people who in Guantanamo have been fasting. Many of them have been forcibly fed, yet their voices aren't getting out to the American public.
A public polarized on this issue, with some lawmakers, pundits, and citizens saying releasing Guantanamo detainees poses a threat to U.S. national security, while these activists speak loudly for another segment of society who say otherwise.
I feel like if we keep people detained without any due process, we get the blowback, which is more people hating us, more terrorism, more violence, an endless cycle.
As for Mr. Truitt, he says his client's attitude remains positive, and he retains lawyers for his cause.
But he believes that Allah will ultimately release him.
The question is whether the U.S. government will. Lauren Lister, RT, Washington, D.C.
The Swiss government